Yeah, our preseason practices have gone actually much better than I anticipated. And I thought that we would have some issues maybe early because we don't have any seniors right now. Our two latest seniors unfortunately could not play this year because of injuries. But we have had some very good leadership from the underclassmen, specifically Chase Yarborough, who right now is our captain, and also Russ Gump, who is our chaplain. But they have been leading by example, and it surprises me, but it's in a really good way. I'm really happy with where we're at right now. Yeah, the junior class, and everyone is going to contribute from that class. From Bobby Little, who may be coming off the bench, but is probably our strongest player, pound for pound. But then Ben Kano, who's in all likelihood going to start at the 3 spot. Jonah Bach at the 2, and I would like to say about Jonah is that he's had to change his game. Like last year, we needed him to shoot volume shots because we really didn't have another perimeter scorer, but now he's been able to kind of change his game and pick his spots. And right now he's shooting as well as anybody that I've ever coached. And it's proven that in the 2 preseason scrimmages. Chase Yarborough obviously is doing really well at our point guard position, and he's been elected captain of the team. So been very happy with where our guys are right now. Russ Gump is our chaplain and has been he's so steady, especially defensively. You think about a 6'6" kid who has, switching man-to-man, has got to guard other, sometimes guards, but he never gets beat. He's always in the right position. Yeah, they were forced last year to get probably more playing time that I had wanted them to get, just because we were so thin at other positions or with upperclassmen. But the ones that are, again, every one of them is in some way, shape, or form contributing to the good of the whole. I could say something about Mike Christensen, who right now has played the 1, 2, 3, and the 4 spot. So he's like our Swiss Army knife type of player. He's as good inside as he is outside. He knows the defense really well. Kyle Randall, who got some playing time off the bench last year, is in all likelihood going to be our backup point guard, but he can also back up the 2 guard. He can start at both the 1 and 2 just because of his skill set, and he also is great in transition. And he's one of those sparks, as is Chase Yarborough, for our transition game. And David Olinger is playing really well too. And what we like about David is he does a lot of things well, not anything spectacularly, but like defense. He understands the defense. He's selfless on offense, and what I mean by that is he'll set a great screen or a rescreen that will not be noticed by anybody in the stands, but is noticed by our shooters who are getting open because he's setting such great screens. I think our freshmen, and we've done this for several years now, but they're blessed by our mentorship program. So every one of the freshmen on our team has an upperclassman mentor who, through the first semester, just gives them advice, takes them under their wing, helps them with study habits, helps them with habits on the basketball court, meets with them on a weekly basis to make that adjustment smoother. So you can tell, maybe they're the older brother figure, or maybe you can say that they're the gunny sergeant, but they're the upperclassman that pours into those freshmen. And they're all at where we thought they would be. Some are a little bit more advanced than others. Maybe it's just because of the level of basketball that they played in high school. But all 6 of them are, and we can say this now, maybe we weren't sure after the first day of practice, but all of them, like, are college basketball players. I mean, they have the mindset. We knew that they had the skill, but then you have to have the mindset of a college basketball player and be able to compete hard for 2 hours. And everyone on the team is better than you in terms of their knowledge of our system. And so it could be really discouraging, but every one of them has fought through that period of discouragement, and now they're setting sail. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, where we are doing well right now, maybe a source of strength is our defense. So that's been our calling card, for years and years, and it's going to be that way this year. So where we are now compared to where we were last year, I mean, we're ahead of the game in terms of like their fundamentals and their understanding of what we have to do, because we play a different type of defense than most other people, because it's all switching man to man. The other place where I believe we are ahead of the game compared to last year is our leadership and just buy-in. The guys understand what they need to do to be successful, and it comes down to decision making. Like, you have to make a decision to be a good defender. You have to make a decision to be a good shooter, and that means you go out and shoot. It takes a decision to be really strong in the weight room, and that means you got to lift 3 times a day or 3 times a week and eat properly. So the issues that we had last year have been rectified maybe over the preseason with an understanding of where their deficiencies were, and now they're working on it. So again, our defense is going to be, I think, a strength of ours. The buy-in, which is going to affect everything. Now, in terms of what we need to work on, it's probably the consistency of our offense, because we're running a different offense. I mean, it's the same offense, but it's different. And that means we're reteaching all of the fundamentals. And so even though you were here maybe 1 or 2 years in the program, this is we're teaching it differently, and it's coming through like a different prism, a different lens. And it's going to help us, but right now we're inconsistent in the application of it. Yeah, I think the league is going to be really tough. Last year was one of those years where anybody could beat anybody else. I think we proved that when we beat the conference champion Chatham and beat Westminster, that were one of the top teams. We took W&J to the final possession when we were here at home. But it's a case of fratricide. Like, anybody can beat anybody else on any given night, and I think we'll be one of those teams that's going to be hard to beat, just because we're going to be better at what we do, and we have better buy-in than what we've had.